Good evening, everyone. I think we're live. Okay, welcome. Just doing a sound check. If you can hear me, please give a thumbs up. Welcome. Sorry about the delay. We were having a little bit of technical difficulties. So David will be joining us shortly. We have I think our wires got crossed in terms of the time. Okay, so welcome. Today is Thursday, the 9th of December, 2021. Hope everyone is doing well, staying safe. Tonight we have a very special guest, David Schwartz. David is the founder of Hedge, and he's also the project director of the Litecoin Foundation. He is no stranger to the show. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Andrew. How are you?
Yeah, how are you doing?
Oh, that was embarrassing.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Just doing a we're just doing a sound check. See if you can hear me okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now actually, my sound's not doing too well. Let me grab. It's a little bit muted. I'm gonna put my headphones on and see how we go.
How's that sound?
Okay. Let's see if technical difficulties, but we'll get there. Okay. Sound check. David, can you just
Yes,
say
sir.
hello? See if we can hear us.
Hello,
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, loud and clear. Sounds good. Okay, so once again, welcome everyone. Now, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Right, if you're tuning in on YouTube, click on the bell icon button, choose all, and then every time we go live, you will be notified. If you're on Facebook, just follow us. If you're on Twitch, if you're tuning in on Twitch, follow us. Please feel free to tag your friends if you think they might be interested in crypto. Okay, thank you, Eileen. You can hear us both loud and clear. Okay, so today, like I said, David's no stranger to the show. I'd like to welcome David. We're gonna be talking about Hedge, which is the company that. There you go. I'm still waiting for my T-shirt, David.
What?
Probably.
Oh, it's got to be on some ship sitting out on the port or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. That's probably what's happened.
Seriously, man, I think I mailed that like 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Yeah, the last time
Yeah.
you were on the show, which was
That's
about
crazy.
2 months ago. Yeah,
I sent some others around the world. I never heard back either. Maybe they're all sitting out there somewhere too.
Yeah, it must be.
That's
But
nuts.
I'm looking forward to it. So before we begin, just a couple of updates. Well, actually, no, I can go into the update a little bit later because it's in the slides. So David, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, and then what I'll do after that is I'm gonna go through an extremely short slide deck that I've prepared before we jump into it as we talk about Hedge. So, hey, sorry, what's the time over there, David?
6:11 a.m.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much for getting up so early.
Apparently not early enough.
Well, I guess daylight savings ended. That's probably why
That's probably
we got
it. Because I
mixed
do
up.
remember before it was like, beyond to test everything at 6:45, and we went live at 7. So that's what I had my alarm set for. But it's okay. It's cool, man. I love talking to you. So it could be 4 a.m. I get up. So.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, so David, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'm David Schwartz. I'm the project director at the Litecoin Foundation. Been doing that since October of 2018, so deep in the heart of the bear market. I got into crypto in the middle of 2017, and I have never looked back. And one of the things that I decided to do about halfway through my time now with the foundation as the project director was try and solve one of these problems that everybody talks about. If you're going to make something, make sure it's solving a problem and it's helping people. So one of the things that I sort of realized needed some some help in solving was the payroll conversion or getting paid in crypto part of it. And decided that there's really not a lot of companies that are ready to pay somebody in crypto right now. They really, the financial system that we live in, the standard one, just really does not accommodate that and really doesn't want to accommodate that. So the goal was to find something that creates a bridge and allows people to at least, convert their pay prior to them receiving it as crypto for them. So it feels exactly like they're paying crypto. And so it didn't have to be all of it. It could be whatever amount, which I thought was even better. And that's how we came up with Hedge. Now we started that back I created the company back in the end of 2018. It's called Cornerstone Global Management. Back then it was an LLC. And along the way, my partner and I, Paul, we converted it over to a C corporation that's out of Delaware. And so it's now Cornerstone Global Management, Inc. And we changed the name of the product from CP3, which is what it used to be, to what you see now, which is Hedge. And we feel like that rebranding was a key part of our evolution to where we're at right now. So that's kind of me in a nutshell in Hedge as far as like how it got created and why. But man, there's a much bigger story being written right now, and I'm loving every day of it. So
Nice. Thank you, David. Now I'm just gonna add. There you go. So you can see.
Oh wow, slide. Look at me there. 10 years
How
younger.
old was that 10 years ago?
No, that was Jesus, probably 3 years now. Yeah, 2-3 years. Maybe I should shave.
or maybe you've been hitting the gym hard, because
I have.
You look slimmer then, and you look a lot more. Yeah.
That's when I was working my regular state job. I was HR. So another reason why I kind of thought of the payroll part of it being a good idea too, right? So
that's interesting. All right, so I've just prepared a really, really short slide deck where I'm just going to talk about doing DCA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dollar cost averaging as a strategy, right? As it could be anyone's crypto strategy. So if you're new to crypto and you're thinking that, this is too difficult, I don't know what to do, well, this is probably where Hedge comes in, and it helps take away all the hassle, I suppose, because we'll get into how Hedge actually works, but I'll just go through this. Okay, so I have to do this. So none of what we discuss tonight is financial advice, so please do not take it as financial advice. If you do plan on making any investment decisions, please consult your financial advisor, because I am not one, and I assume you're not one either, David.
No, sir.
Nope. We're not financial advisors. So we, yeah, that's right. So we cannot give you financial advice, but we will talk about what Hedge does, what DCAing means and how it works, right? So, before that, yes. So this, so on the 20th, so to the audience out there, on the 20th, we're having a crypto preview. So we've been running classes, and last week we ran one. Sorry, not last week. Last month in November, we ran a 3-day crypto class, which turned out really, really well. A lot of newcomers, and we even had 4 skeptics in the class, skeptics to crypto. They managed to, they spent 3 days with us, and we explained, and we, got our hands dirty. We got down into the nuts and bolts, and we explained to them what crypto was. And they came out enlightened, right? They saw the light by the end of it. So if you so on the 20th this month, we're going to be running a bit of a introductory, right? We're going to talk about crypto on the 20th. If you're interested, I believe the team has put out some links. So please click on the link and register yourself and come and hear about one of these unstoppable trends that we've been talking about, which is crypto. So moving on. Now we're going to talk about so here's the thing. So I actually covered this. I covered this even more extensively on day 3, where we talk about different types of crypto strategies and how you can actually, what strategies that you can apply if you're going to, if you're actually going to invest in crypto, right? And so, so I'm just going to touch on it lightly today because we're talking to David Schwartz, the founder of Hedge, which actually makes it very easy for you to DCA into crypto. Now, what is DCA? It's dollar cost averaging. It's putting aside a set amount every month and buying crypto. So what I did was, in here is just a summary of a portfolio that I modeled from December 2017. And this one's only updated to October of this month. So a total of, I think it was around 48 months, right? So why did I pick December 17th as the starting point? Because that was the height of the last bull run, right? And after that, everything crashed 85%. And so I wanted to pick the peak because had you gone into crypto in December 2017, and then having it drop 85%, you'd be thinking, you throw in the towel and think, all this is over, like this is no good, it's crap. I just wanted to show you what the outcome would be if you had just continued to put money in, right, every month. So the assumption is that you would invest $250 every month into 4 coins or tokens, right? And I'll just pick some random ones here. We've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, obviously, and Ren. And if I were to put in $250 into each coin each month at the average price, so I just took the prices for the month and I just did it, and I added it up and divided by the number of days in the month, I got the average price. So I, with the assumption that I put in $1,000 every month into X number of coins, in this case 4 coins every month, and I went in at the peak of the last bull run, over the 48 months, I would have invested $46,500. Why $46,500? Because Ren didn't come in, well, wasn't listed until January or February of 2018. So if I'd done so, and I religiously put away $1,000 every month, right, into crypto, at the peak, you would actually be down 85%. So, everyone kind of needs to know that, it's not all pretty picture. It's not always a bed of roses, but at the worst time, you'd be down 85%. But as of October of last month, your absolute returns would have been 829%. Had you layered that money in every month, right? You don't care what the price is, right? You just put it in and you just put it away, right? Treat that as your savings, and that's what you would have ended up with, right? You would have saved a total of 46,500, and that would have grown to be 432,000. So that's 829%. So that's pretty significant. And in the next slide, I just wanted to show a comparison. Now, David, this one's pretty localized to the Malaysian market, but we're talking about unit trust returns, right? So one of the highest would be 25%. Now remember, 25% against 829%. I mean, you take it.
It's pretty close. No, okay.
Yeah, that's right. And also if you were to look at interest rates, versus the housing price index, right? It's pretty much a no-brainer. Like, which one would have given you the best returns in that time? I mean, even if everyone's talking about inflation these days, right? Even if you factored in inflation, you would have pretty much beat inflation, right? At 800% returns. Now, again, let me stress that this is not financial advice, and I'm not telling you to go out and buy stuff. I'm just this is the model that because I had a hypothesis, and I just wanted to model it out to see what it would look like, right? And so here's what. So I did 3 different scenarios. So there were, portfolio 1, portfolio 2, and portfolio 3, and they all gave, various returns in terms of percentage. And obviously, if you had just DCA'd in, right, you'd get 830%, right? And that's the highest. The rest were I made slight tweaks in terms of how you DCA. I think the next slide, yeah. I think portfolio 2 was, the yellow line, assuming that you had the worst of luck and you ended up buying at the highest price each month of each coin, you'd still be over 800%. So that's not too bad. And this was a different scenario that I worked out. And then there was a 4th one, which actually gave you the highest returns, obviously. So if you want to know what that one is, come for the preview, right? And then, yeah, we can talk more about it. Today, we're going to talk about David. And that actually ends it. I'm going to stop sharing my slides. And we're back.
The dogs are awake.
Yeah, well, good morning. That sounded like a pretty big dog.
Yeah, they're big babies is what they are. But,
yeah. So David, I just wanted to start the session with that because
I thought that was great. I took a snapshot of it just so you know.
Oh, I'm happy to share the slides with you. No problems. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I'd even like to ask if we did a tweet today from the Hedge account, if we can use of the slide where you just had all the numbers where someone invested in 2017 and how much. Okay, awesome. I thought that was great.
Definitely.
We've been looking for, we have one ourselves that we use, but I really like the way you had it laid out. So.
Yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, so I suppose you know why I picked 2017, right?
Oh yeah,
because
December
a lot of people
17th
gave
on
up.
top of it. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. A lot of people got in then, and then when the market crashed, everyone kind of just gave up. I was like, this is it. But investing is not it's not. Well, one, it's not for the weak-hearted, and 2, if you just trust in the system, right? You set a DCA system for yourself, and have the discipline to sort of, see it through, and then in the long run, it's proven that you're better off.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is just trying to figure out a way not to look at the prices so much, right? I'm still guilty of that a lot, but it's really key that you don't drive yourself. I mean, do you go looking at your Roth IRA every 15 minutes? I don't think so. or
That's
your,
right.
or your savings account in the bank. I'm sure as hell not looking at that very often. But I guess my key is the point is that if you're going to DCA, you need to try and probably figure out a way to DCA the way you look at your portfolio too, because otherwise you're going to drive yourself crazy, right? If I would have been buying at the top of 2017 and then, DCAing in that whole time, and I'm looking at the price, and it's hard to think, am I doing the right thing or not? If you were to zero out to see the entire time frame that Bitcoin or Litecoin or whatever has been in existence, it looks a heck of a lot better, and it makes you feel okay about the dips. But if you're in the moment, it's really hard to stay disciplined when you see a 20% drop in one day, right? Because you don't see that in any other market. So I feel like you, according to the volatility of whatever it is that you're looking at, you probably need to have the opposite amount of concentration on what that daily or that minute's price is at. So
Yeah, and I think I get asked the question a lot of, hey, Andrew, I've got $5,000. Like, what should I do? Like, should I buy? Which coin should I buy? Should I buy Bitcoin,
yeah.
Litecoin, Ether? Like, what should I buy? And I think one of the most important things to sort of be clear about for any investor is, well, what's your objective, right? Like, are you trying to save for retirement, or is this a fun fund, right? Or is this like beer money? Is this a beer money portfolio? What is it like? How long do you plan to hold it for? Because and oftentimes they don't know. They just know that they've got $5,000 and they want to grow it. And this is where it's important that up front what you want to do. Like, what do you want the end state to look like? And the simplest answer that I usually give them is, well, you can have multiple portfolios, right? You can have a long-term portfolio. You can have a savings account portfolio, which is where the DCA comes in. And you can have a beer money portfolio and trade the hell out of that one, right? And kind of spread that. It really depends on each individual, on how much time they have, how much focus they want to put on managing it. Where I definitely see value in dollar cost averaging in over time, because as you saw in the chart earlier, that 800%, you would have beaten a lot of fund managers with those returns.
Sure, with very too little, education in how to do that, other than just putting it away. You sure as heck would have beat traders. I mean, take a beer money trader versus the dollar cost average person. I can almost guarantee you that the beer money trader will be nowhere near that return over a 4-year period, because they'll win a couple, maybe they win a couple big ones, but they're going to lose a lot. And there's no real losing per se in the scenario that you showed for a dollar cost average person versus someone who thinks they can make a quick buck in 30 minutes, or a swing trader or whatever else. So they all have their, I guess, purposes or whatever, but they all have their flaws too. So you got to just kind of weigh that with what you're trying to do.
Yeah. So David, maybe you can explain to the audience a little bit about how Hedge sort of fits into this this scenario for someone who's looking to dollar cost average, right? They've got a normal day job, and then they say, well, okay, I want to put away 10%, 20%, right, of my wages. into crypto, and how can I achieve that, right?
Yeah. So the way the hedge specifically, or any other dollar cost average mechanism that's probably out in the crypto market right now, would be, depending on what it is, but with hedge specifically, you're allowing your employer to pay you in the same fiat that you would normally get, and as it travels to wherever the final destination is, it's landing in an account that, when you register with us, is created specifically for you. And so the fiat lands in there, and then you've already told us ahead of time what you want to have done with the fiat when it gets there. And it's going to convert it into whatever it is you told us, and then it's going to either sit in a wallet that was made for you on Hedge for that specific crypto, or you've also told us ahead of time what wallet you want it to go to when it's been converted. And then it's just going to show up there after you've confirmed in an email that, yeah, that's what I wanted it to go to, and that's what I wanted it converted to. It's a little security feature we have in there. So if someone hacked into your account, which, should never happen, but things happen, people figure stuff out, but nothing's 100% safe, right? So we have safety features in there, like, are you sure this is what you wanted to do with this money once it was converted? Yes. Okay. And then it goes, right? Which is, we thought that was a nice feature as well. But then it ends up in that wallet that you had told Hedge you wanted it to go to. So there's ways to do all of the things we mentioned. The one who wants to put it away, the one who wants to maybe do some beer money trading, you can send it to an account that does that. You can, so that they all go to those places simultaneously, and you're able to do all of them at the same time if you really wanted to, I guess. But the dollar cost average one that we have set up allows for you to pretty much set it and forget it, which is the key to dollar cost averaging, really, at its core.
So David, if let's say, too bad Hedge isn't over here, because it'll be great service, and I'll definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
looking forward to that. We're already working towards that. So yeah.
Nice. No, that's cool. So let's say someone wanted to dollar cost average, right? Mm-hmm. So they go to gethedge.io, and they would sign up for an account, and then obviously you'll have to fill in your details and all that. And then do you then get some sort of a bank account number or something like that?
Yeah. I can show you. If I can share, I can show you.
Yeah.
My own personal account that was used for the internal testing. It's live, so it's a real live account. I'll show you everything except for the screen that shows the actual direct deposit information on it. But other than that, I will show you all of that here. So let me see if I can find that real quick. A second. I've never done it with this before, so I gotta. Oh, that's not so hard. Yeah, I got it. There we
go. Yeah, cool.
Can you see that?
Yeah, it's coming through. Let me just add that to the stream. There you go. Yeah. Nice. Right.
So this is the desktop version, right? on the like the mobile friendly, like on your phone or whatever, you would see basically this area here, and then a little bit of design on the side, but this is the desktop version of it. Okay.
Nice.
And so, yeah, basically what happens is after you've signed up and you've gone through the KYC process, which is just a lovely process that, people have come up with to make sure you are who you are. You would go in and you would actually set your allocations, right? And so I have mine set up like this here. So I have 50% of whatever comes in being converted into Bitcoin, and it's being held on Hedge itself. And then another 50% that's going to a wallet, a Litecoin wallet that I have. And that happens every time money comes in. So at least a minimum of like $10 comes in and it gets converted, right? So let's see, this is like if I'm trying to add a new wallet, then I can either consider creating another one that stays right ahead. And maybe some people want that because they're new and they just don't have any other wallets right now at this point. They just heard about Hedge and signed up, and so they want to keep everything inside of it because they don't really have any other option right now. It was that easy. I just created a wallet for ETH.
Nice.
And it's technically not a wallet per se that's individual to this. It's a custodial through the service that we use for that back end part of it, right? And they're very, very reputable, very large crypto related company here in the United States that does this type of service for multiple companies, and so they're very trustworthy and they heavily regulated and so on and so forth. And so we're very happy to have them as a back-end partner, but that's held by them, right? So there's no keys involved for someone who's maybe nervous and doesn't necessarily want to try and keep the 12 private keys or do whatever else. They're able to just keep it on here, and it's secure through us. Not through us, but through our backend provider, and they can come here and access it anytime they want, right?
Yep.
So then I can delete it right here. It doesn't have to stay. Thank you, honey. My lovely wife. She gave me coffee. And then I can, once I'm done, here, I'll show you this too. If it goes up below or above 100%, it won't stay. I won't be able to save it. So and we'll save the allocations. And then the next thing you want to do is go into your profile here. And this will be some of the information that I put in for my KYC. So like name, address, whatever. Electronic communication, I can choose to either stay, he's smiling here, but if I click this one, now he's frowning. What this does is allows me to receive emails or like a newsletter or whatever else that comes out. But even if you click opt out, what's going to happen is those emails I told you about earlier, where you confirm a transaction to an outside wallet or whatever, it's still going to send you that because that's a key component to the process, right? But like any superfluous or things that may not be critical to you receiving your funds, then you would stop getting those emails. And then the fee schedule, and then down here in this tab, it'll show the direct deposit information that was generated for you when you signed up. And so that's what you would end up taking. Like once you pass KYC, you go in there, you see the information. Maybe you print that screen or you write down the information or whatever it is, copy, paste it. And that's what you end up sending to either your employer or the payroll service. If it's online, then you're able to do it yourself, and you send them that. And then you're going to use that to say, I want X amount of my salary or my pay or my commissions or, whatever it is to this account. And that's the account that it lands in, specifically under your name. And then it's converted into the crypto, which then shows up like this, right? So I've done 7 or 8 tests, 7 or 8 conversions already. And just small amounts, right? But over time, it's been great. I only did one time, I think, where I did Ethereum, right? So I'll click on that 2 times. I just did some small amounts here, but it shows this is the transaction history, and it'll show you at the moment how much it was. Whoops. And then if I click on one of them, it'll show you here. That's how that went down. So it was November 21st. This is the asset amount. It was only $4. I did 10% of $40, right? So that was that specific transaction. And then this was the next one that came in. It was 2 days later. Same type of thing, right? Yeah. So that's for each of those. I've done a lot more with Bitcoin. You can see all the different trends. And I also sent it here to this address back on November 15th, right? So that was how that worked. And then you can go between dollar value and quantity as well, right? And then this changes about every minute. right? So you'll see a current valuation. It may have changed while we were even talking. I'm not sure, but and then for new people when they first come in, we have Hal down here, Helpful Hal, and he'll kind of navigate you through what each of these things do here, right? So really, if you think about it, if you're a new person coming into crypto and you just want to be able to have some money changed into crypto, you don't want to have to worry about the exchange process. You don't have to worry about finding a wallet, and really that's all you're trying to do is just hold. Then this is a great mechanism for that, right? It can be that simple for you. But if you're somebody who, maybe like me or you or a few others, where you have multiple wallets that do different things, maybe one's earning interest, one's a trading platform, one is your cold storage wallet. Maybe you want to send crypto to all of them. That happens too, right? And so there's no complexity other than adding those wallets into the area I showed you. There's nothing different than the person who's just having it converted and letting it sit on there, and they can just set it and forget it, right? So we feel like this addressed everybody's issue of payroll conversion, and also solved the idea of, if you went to an exchange, you'd have to manually have it sent to each wallet that you wanted it to go to after you've pulled it out of your own bank account and converted it, right after you've been paid. So it's going into your own personal bank account before you even take it to an exchange, have it converted. Once it's converted, sometimes they make you wait 4 or 5, 6, 7 days, who knows, right, before you can actually send it out to an external address. We're taking care of all of that for you. You just literally have to send some money to it and set it out the way you want it to go, and that's it.
Yeah, that looks like an extremely simplified approach to getting onto crypto.
I kept asking everybody that was involved in creating, I'm like, please make it for the newest, laziest person possible, right? Because that's what you want. You want something where you can just not have to worry too much about it. So yeah, I feel like we got pretty close to that.
Yeah, I mean that looks like a very simple interface, and it was clean. It was really cool. Hey, so David, let's say I was in a scenario where I wanted to allocate, to Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, and but I wanted to keep some on Hedge on the custody wallet, but I also wanted to send some to a wallet address that could be on an exchange that belongs to me, so that I can kind of trade it and whatnot, for the same coin, for Bitcoin, let's say, or Litecoin. Is that possible?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, I've sent it to different types of wallets to check everything, and it does. That's exactly what we wanted it to do. Is any place where there's a wallet, like an address, a Bitcoin address, you should be able to send it to.
So let's say I had
Ethereum, Litecoin, doesn't matter. But.
Cool. So it's almost like you've got, say, 50%, 50-50, right? 15 to Bitcoin, 15 to Litecoin, but then on Bitcoin, it would be sent to multiple addresses.
Yeah, you can actually. So you don't have to have one Bitcoin address. I should have showed you that too. You can create as many Bitcoin addresses as you want, as many Ethereum, as many Litecoin. The only thing is you have to make it equal 100% of whatever was sent in.
Yeah,
that's it. So, and you have to make sure that one of the things that we kind of tripped up on while we were doing this was it can't be so low that it does like where it goes like 4 decimal points past, whatever the dollar amount is that it's being converted into, right? And it has to be probably at least, we're recommending at least $10 into each of those whenever it's done converting, right? Simply for the fact that if you're sending like $20 and you try and send it to 20 different wallets, you're looking at conversion fees that it's probably going to wipe out everything that you put in there, right? So because every service comes with a cost, so you got to remember that too. And I mean, there's no problem spending or sending $10 if you're sending $10 and you're just leaving it on there as Bitcoin, you're fine, right? There's still a service fee cost and everything on there, and over time you'll see those gains that cover whatever the fee was. But I mean, we're seeing I've had a few people already using it, and I've seen numbers in the hundreds, like and I think we have one coming in that's going to be like a couple thousand. So at one time. So I mean, there's people that are going to, maybe there's the guy that works over at the local pizza place and he just wants to shove $20 in there every payday or whatever. And then you have other people where it's like, I don't trust the fiat system anymore. I want all my pay converted over. So we're going to be getting all of those people.
Yeah. I think it's such a great service to really help adoption. In class, when I talk about crypto, I make comparison of how infrastructure actually, when infrastructure is built, it creates value. And I usually make that parallel comparison with real estate, right? I'd show a picture of, so the city of Kuala Lumpur here, 50 years ago or 100 years ago, what it looked like, and what infrastructure it had, which was very little, obviously. And over time, infrastructure kind of got built, right? Roads got built, stadiums, and, other different facilities. And that actually increased the value of that land, right? Or the value of the location. I feel it's the same with crypto. I mean, we've got Bitcoin, we've got Litecoin, we've got Ethereum. But then, there's very little infrastructure in the early days. But then people like yourself, right? You're building infrastructure around it, right? So so as infrastructure gets built over time, it increases in value, right? It's worth more. And so it's great. And I think having a service like Hedge would make it so easy and seamless to onboard absolute new people onto crypto without the complexity.
So we'll be able to introduce new people to it. We'll have videos that we're creating that talk about everything from dollar cost averaging to different types of wallets and whatever else. We want to make sure we're a resource for everybody. So I think one of the key things with crypto is there's so much to learn in order to feel comfortable, even in just a little niche part of it that you end up getting into, right? Like, so I'm really more like a Bitcoin, Litecoin guy. I've chosen those two as my main investment vehicles simply because I feel as though they help me combat against inflation and just the weird monetary system that we exist in right now. But there are other people who are into NFTs, they're into all kinds of crazy stuff, right? And those parts of the crypto ecosystem I'm not as familiar with, I'll be honest, and I'm not necessarily interested per se beyond a certain point. I find NFTs very interesting, but I haven't executed on actually purchasing any yet or doing anything like that because like we've talked about on prior shows, I'm very conservative. So the fact I'm even in crypto in general is kind of funny. But I always try to, I'm the guy that like stands back and watches others first and really sort of like absorbs whether this is something that I want myself to get into, right? That's almost with anything. So when you go to a party, I'm the guy standing in the corner, sort of like watching everybody going, is that somebody I even want to talk to? Or not? I don't know. So that's me. I'll just go
Yeah.
back to the punch bowl. I'll be over here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, but so David, how long has this journey been for you? You know, from start to, now having a working product,
3
working
years.
service. Yeah.
3 years, but we
Wow.
did it from scratch too. I mean, you see so much money flying around right now in people investing in crypto companies, and I mean, we could have gone that way, and we could have done like an ICO type thing where we create a token. It's not saying we won't create a HAL token or something later on, right? But it would be more like a rewards type thing. It's not
Yeah.
something where like some of these, where somebody creates a token and then it's really just used for raising revenue and then that's it, right?
Yeah.
I want to do something that's actually beneficial for the people that receive the tokens, not just raising some money and that's it. But yeah, and then there's lots of regular VCs that are coming in and large companies investing money in crypto projects and stuff, and we just weren't a part of that. And
Yeah.
I'm really happy about that because yeah, it made the process very slow. I mean, you're talking about, we had one seed investor, and that was Charlie. So Charlie Lee, the creator of Litecoin, was our seed investor, and everything else was coming from me. And so this is a one of those from the heart type of things that's been created, right? And I feel, not taking away from any company that's raised like $50 million or any of that stuff. I think that's great for them if they're able to utilize that properly, and it's, people are interested, obviously, so they put the money into it. That's great. But for me, there was a very long point where it was vital that it be something that's coming from me and from Paul and the team directly, without outside influence sort of dictating how we were going to do something. Right now, we've had the partners that we have in the background. They're all going to be investing. They've already committed to doing that. Right. It's just fiscally, there's certain things that have to occur, like end of the year, or maybe their books are closed for whatever reason because somebody else is investing them or whatever else. All those things are going on, but we're very close on who we would have even invest in us, So
Actually, I love that story. I mean, I love the fact that the opportunities that crypto has brought upon. I mean, the fact that you could, as you mentioned earlier, you were in full-time employment, and then you were able to to quit that to work on work on this, and as a passion, from a passion project to what it is now, and so and to build it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's great.
Thanks. Yeah, that's another reason why it took a little bit of time too, because up until March of this year, I was scraping the time together to make it happen, right? So everything that was happening because I was able to put an hour or two, a day into it, maybe 3, basically every day. But I mean, I couldn't do it the way that a regular CEO or a startup person would be able to do. And that goes for everybody else on the team, right? I mean, literally everybody had other jobs or professions. So you're talking about 4 or 5 different part-timers all trying to coordinate and do things when they could in some sort of unison to make this continue to move forward, right? So the odds of not no VC funding, everybody's part-time. I had no experience in the financial sector. Paul does, right? That's where he comes from. Paul didn't really have much experience in the crypto area. And so the odds of this company even being where we are right now, just like, I would not, it's not like I could recommend everybody go this route, because we just happen to have a lot of things really, really roll into our favor, like the partners that have come on and it's opened up some doors for us that we definitely would have never had opened otherwise, right? It's just I give all that credit to God, because I pray every day that, you know, whatever it is that you want to have happen, you just make that happen. If it means closing this thing down, then so be it. At least I made some experiences that I can take somewhere else. But if you want it to flourish, man, make some doors open that I could have never had open myself. And sure enough, man, I had to choose doors. There were so many doors opening. I was like, I don't even know where I'm supposed to go right now, right? Maybe I take this door. You know? So there was kind of like, it's been an amazing journey to this point, and it's just getting started. Some of the things that are going to be happening for 2022, I'm just thankful. So yeah,
I'm definitely looking forward to some updates in 2022 as well. And you know, the last time I had you on the show, uh, you know, you guys, I think was that, yeah, it was just you alone, or was that
yeah. The
with
last one was me, but the one
yeah,
prior, I think there were like 4 of us on or something.
that's
Yeah.
right, yeah, the whole team was on.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, you guys have made so much progress, you know, between the shows that you've been
Mhm.
on,
Yeah. Yeah.
and yeah, so it's fantastic. And you know, it's I think this is gonna help a lot of newcomers, and I think it's great, because you know, it lowers down the barriers to entry into crypto. If
Yes.
you were ever afraid to sort of dip your toes in, you know, in the crypto waters,
Mhm.
hey, this is the best way to start. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. And we
yeah,
filtered away all the extra stuff, right? So like that's why we went with only the 3 blue chips to begin with. That's
yeah,
why you don't see a lot. You don't see advertising on there. You don't see all this extracurricular stuff going on. It's literally like, okay, how much do you want to come in here? That's up
yeah,
to you. And then what do you want it to be once it comes in? Do you want it to stay here? Yes. No. Okay. No. Then where do you want to send it? And that's it, right? And that's really,
yeah,
it's a tool.
yeah,
It's not supposed to be
yeah.
anything other than that. And that's money in general, right? It's supposed to be a tool. Don't make it to be
That's
anything
right.
other than that. So that's the
That's right.
concept we took for creating Hedge too.
Yeah, I love it. I love the simplicity of the design.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations, David, and to you and your team. It's awesome.
Thanks, man. And I can't wait till the next time we come on, because let's see, it's December now, and that's sometime in like, March or whatever. Oh, I'm gonna have some good stuff to be telling you. So
Awesome. Well,
excited.
after this show, let's lock down the date.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, look, it's what, 7 a.m. for you now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just be
Hey,
coming
look.
on. I got my notice earlier that I was supposed to, wake up and go on your show.
I wonder if I sent you the wrong time.
Well, it said, yeah, I saw a thing even on your on Twitter. It said 8 a.m. Eastern, which would have been 7 a.m. my time right now. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
curious. Do you guys even do like where you fall back, you go back an hour or whatever?
No, no. So
That's
it's
why.
constant.
That's why
Yeah.
we did. So in November we fell
Mm,
back an hour.
mm.
So it's no longer, I can't remember how many hours it was, but that's exactly
Yeah.
why you were sitting there waiting for me and I was getting my beauty sleep. So
No, but thanks for jumping on so quickly, though, from
yeah,
straight out of bed
it was
and
like, I'm like,
onto a live
Andrew's calling.
stream.
What's going on, dude? Hey.
Yeah,
Where are you?
yeah. Yeah, no, thanks for that quick transition from bed to 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 in front of the camera.
Yeah, no coffee. Sans coffee too, man. I'm impressed. So
Yeah. Hey, look, it's I you know, this is a really cool you know, really cool progress update for Hedge. I it's, you know, just, yeah, congratulations. That
thank you.
is, yeah, it's awesome. Looking forward to more updates in March, and yeah, we and yeah, look, we'll chat after the live stream about the deck. Happy to share that with you.
Yeah, sounds good. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So all right, I think we're almost out of time. I just want to thank David for getting up at 6 a.m. to jump on this call and to jump on live to talk about what Hedge has done, and also I hope that that little sharing earlier about how DCAing into crypto. If you had done so from December 2017 to now, I mean, you'd be quite well off. Again, this is not financial advice, but I probably wouldn't recommend DCAing it for stocks or anything like that. But for crypto, for Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, it seems to have worked pretty well. Right. And, the oldest coin, Bitcoin, is 13 years old. So, it's just somehow for crypto, it's worked really well. And I definitely wouldn't recommend DCAing for stocks. All right. Again. Oh, okay. So again, thank you for tuning in, everyone. We have on Monday, the 20th of December, we have a physical session on crypto. So if you are interested, links have been posted. Just register and come over and let's have a chat and we'll talk about how crypto is one of the unstoppable trends that we have identified as part of our research. And then if you cannot make it physically, I think you can also attend, via link. So do hit us up. Click on that registration button, and let's have a chat. And you can ask me any questions you want when you're there, and we can talk about even how to DCA into crypto. Once again, I want to thank David Schwartz, the founder of Hedge, and also the project director of the Litecoin Foundation. And thank you so much for getting up so early.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
Any last words, David?
I think if you get into cryptocurrencies, please just educate yourself. Be the guy in the back of the room looking at everybody else first before you dive in to anything, because as beautiful as it may look from across the room, sometimes when you get closer, you realize, okay, this isn't something I really want to get into. And I'm not talking about cryptos in general. I think it's a great area to get into. What I'm talking about is all the different things that are out there that you can actually get into within crypto. You're going to have a lot of people that make themselves look really good for a party, but when they're at home, it's a totally different story. And that's with anything, right? So companies too can look really, really good up front, and then you find out more about them and it's just not a good fit for you. So just please do your research before you actually invest in anything.
Yeah, that's some sagely advice from a crypto veteran. Yeah, definitely. If you've been in crypto long enough, you too would take that stance, because there's a lot of crap out there, and there's a lot of good projects, and there's a lot of not so good projects out there. So
and I'd also say, even if it's not named Bitcoin, it doesn't mean it's a scam. A lot of people will tell you if it's not Bitcoin, it's a scam, and that's not true. So
yeah, you do have that subgroup, some pretty hardcore maximalists out there.
Yeah, and some mean well, and some just like being mean. So
all right. Okay, so I think we'll call it a night. Again, everyone, thank you for tuning in. David, thank you for jumping on. Wishing everyone a great night, great afternoon, and a great day for you, David.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.